Hello everyone, and hello from Lake George, New York. I am so sorry that I can't be with you guys today, but that is because of these guys. These guys are my little boys. We planned a vacation a good 6 months ago, and they would be heartbroken if I were here with you and not with them today. So I never miss the opportunity to talk about sustainability. And so I wanted to create this video to talk with you all. We define sustainability at KeyBank as creating value for all stakeholders by using our resources, products, and philanthropy to sustain and grow our business for the long term. Our strategic framework is set up so we focus first and foremost on our core business, on responsible banking, but also on responsible operations and responsible citizenship. All of that is part of our purpose of helping our clients and communities thrive. So why is sustainability important? What does this mean to me? Here you talk about efficient operations and energy savings, green buildings. First and foremost, you hear us talk about people, profit, and planet. So we're a public company. We have a duty to our shareholders, so I almost always start with the profit piece. Sustainability is an opportunity for us to create new revenue opportunities. It's also a way for us to drive operational efficiencies and create operational savings. Next, we have an opportunity to build brand and culture through sustainability. Corporate responsibility as the whole. When we talk about brand and culture, we're talking about being more attractive to our clients and also engaging and attracting employees and the kind of talent that we want to. Sustainability can also reduce our risk. As we talk about sustainability, we talk about climate change, we talk about scarcity of natural resources. It brings volatility, not only to our business, but our clients' business, those businesses that we're lending to. And then finally, it supports stable economic and social conditions in a healthy environment. And at the end of the day, when we talk about people, profit, and planet, it's the people. That's the big P in this. And everything that we do on this team in corporate responsibility is about people. You know, there are some projections that say that within our lifetime, population will reach more than 9 billion. And when we talk about sustainability, it's about sustaining our economies and growth in our economy, sustaining the way we live forever, perpetually. And right now, if we continue as we are, our lifestyles and our use of energy, fossil fuels, consumption of natural resources, it's not sustainable. And that's why there's so much focus. We don't want billions. Well, I believe the projection is 1 billion people could be without access to clean water within our lifetimes. And that's a pretty scary thought. So when we talk about what this means to you, that's where I like to start. But now I want to talk about the business. I want to talk about recent leadership by KeyBank in sustainability. First and foremost, Key finances more wind projects in the U.S. than any other lender. That is tremendous, and every employee in KeyBank should know that. Part of the drive to invest in renewable energy is to bring it to scale, to make it cheaper, and to tip the balance of our dependence on fossil fuels-based energy. Second, Key meets the highest standards for energy, water, and materials efficiency in our buildings. As many of you know, we have 3 LEED Platinum certifications, including the first ever LEED Platinum E-Bomb certification of a data center in the U.S. That's leadership that our real estate teams are showing, and they have many other accolades to come with that. And then finally, Key set a carbon footprint reduction goal to reduce our carbon footprint 20% by 2016 over a 2009 baseline. And I am proud to report that as of the end of 2012, we are 85% of the way to achieving that goal. Now, as we talk about the sustainability team's priorities for Q1 and Q2, first and foremost, our priority was to drive and support initiatives to improve Key's environmental performance. We have a slate of first-generation goals that we'll talk about today, and we're also driving process and systems improvements to support those goals. Most of those goals are related to our real estate and energy consumption at this juncture. Second, for Q1 and Q2, we measure and create transparency to Key's environmental and social performance. So you've heard us talk a lot this year about the Carbon Disclosure Project and the Global Reporting Initiative. We've been working very hard and collaborating with everyone in the room on that. And then third, we have a priority to increase awareness of Key's sustainability program and to engage our employees. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into those three areas and the work that we've done to date this year. So first and foremost, progress against our sustainability goals. I suspect that this slide will look like a bit of an eye chart when we put it up. But first and foremost, I've already talked about Key's carbon footprint reduction goal. We are absolutely on track to hit that goal ahead of schedule, and I look forward to setting a second generation goal. We also have a goal to achieve Energy Star certification of 50% of Key's facilities by 2016. And we are well on our way of hitting that target. By the end of this year, we'll have more than 300 Energy Star certifications. Achieve LEED certification for all new retail branches. And this goal we have already achieved, even though the future branches have not been built, because we've achieved volume build certification from the USGBC, which essentially means our prototype is LEED certified, so any buildings that they build to prototype will also be LEED certified. Next, a goal to eliminate waste to landfill by 2016. This was a very bold goal when it was set. It is currently under review, but I will say that we have a number of waste pilots in flight. Meg and I work very closely with our facilities teams, and we are figuring this out. And so I suspect that this will evolve into a waste diversion goal in the future. Implement recycling programs at 100% of sites by 2016. Today, we do have recycling at 100% of sites. It's primarily paper recycling. And again, as I talked about those waste pilots, we are working on expanding that capability. We do compost in certain areas. We have full recycling of plastics, metal, glass, cardboard, and other materials at many of our sites, but we want to get to 100%. And then finally, we have a goal to reduce our water consumption by 25% by 2016, and we're also on target to hit that goal. Next priority is transparency to our environmental performance. First, in 2012, Key responded to the Carbon Disclosure Project for the first time ever. And with that response, we received an excellent inaugural score of 89 for disclosure and a performance score of B. We responded again this year in May of 2013, and I expect that we will end up with a very similar score. Next, we also will be putting out our second GRI report, or also known as a corporate responsibility report. And this brings transparency to all of Key's environmental and social performance data. Also with that, we achieved our third-party assurance of our carbon footprint data. So our Scope 1, Scope 2 emissions data is something that we measure, we manage, and then we also have to get third-party verified. So that third-party assurance was by the AA1000 assurance standard. It was essentially an audit that we went through, but as you can see on the slides, the findings in three categories, governance, process, and data, were all found to be very low risk. And then third, we focus on culture and engagement. Project Impact is an employee involvement program that I'll talk a little bit about. For the first 2 quarters of this year, we launched and executed a phase 1 pilot. But we've also done a number of other engagement activities. We had a full slate of Earth Day programs. We participated in Earth Hour across our footprint. We had probably 20 sites that went completely dark with buildings all over the world in celebration of Earth Hour. We also participated here in Cleveland in the Earth Fest event held by the Earth Day Coalition. And then we also have had other events. As many of you may remember, we had a great event out at Tiedemann to bring awareness to the LEED Platinum certification. So what is Project Impact? Project Impact is an employee program that was created to involve employees into Key's sustainability initiatives. It's also a vehicle that we can use to drive employee awareness, use it as a communication vehicle, so to speak. So first and foremost, our strategy was to connect employees and then to empower them to take action and to execute on initiatives that matter to them, essentially empowering our employees to exercise their values and to do their part. And then we also use it as a vehicle to educate, pushing out information to these teams on different sustainability topics. And what I'm pleased to report is that in phase 1 of the pilot, we had 4 teams. We had 3 corporate sites and 1 branch that participated. These teams came together, executed projects on a number of different initiatives. One that I'm most proud of was a team that's out in Superior, Colorado, was successful in eliminating plastic water bottles from their entire facility in Superior, Colorado. And there were a lot of different parts and pieces to that, one of which was convincing the landlord and the facilities team to retrofit all of the water fountains within the building to provide clean, cold, filtered water. So continuing with Project Impact, we are looking forward in Q3 and Q4 at a phase 2 of the pilot. We've done some communications, which you may have seen via KeyNet, and we have had interest from over 20 different locations, individuals who've raised their hand and basically said, I want to be a Project Impact team leader. We will have information sessions that will start week after next. And if anyone is interested in participating, I invite you to contact Meg Ainsley. So as we look forward to 2013 and 2014, I want to give you a sense of our high-level objectives for the sustainability team. First and foremost, we want to collaborate with our line of business leaders to establish and get approved a second generation slate of corporate goals. So you heard me talk about our goals in terms of carbon, energy, waste, water. It's time for us to think about our goals to 2020. And I think that we can set a carbon and energy reduction goal of 3% a year to 2020. We can set more clearly defined waste reduction and diversion goals. We should be able to state dollars committed to renewable energy and to track the number of our suppliers that are engaged on sustainability. I also think it's time for us to think about an air travel reduction goal. Although all of our environmental performance metrics are going down, our air travel CO2 emissions has gone up year over year. It makes sense from the standpoint that our company continues to grow, but we have to think about our impact in terms of carbon emissions and how we can impact that positively as well. Second, we need to improve our management approach and transparency against the GRI and CDP frameworks. You'll hear Bruce talk about materiality and stakeholder engagement. We have to know what is material to our business, what our stakeholders require, and our goals really should reflect their input and be in response to that. We also need to send a very clear message, both internally and externally, and think about our policies and our participation in investor and banking coalitions. And then we've got more opportunity to dive deeper on our analysis of our opportunities, our challenges, our trends, and risks to our business in terms of environmental and social performance. And then finally, we have to increase employee involvement. We have to increase awareness. We've got the opportunity to do that through Project Impact. While we are working on a phase 2 pilot, the vision is that we will scale that across the entire company and institutionalize it as we go forward. We've got the opportunity to do eco campaigns internally, to leverage internal communications, to leverage our PR opportunities, and more events. So how will we measure success going forward? First and foremost, performance against new corporate goals. So you heard me talk about the goals. I can't hit that enough. The importance of sending a clear message, telling stakeholders what we're going to do, and then doing it. Second, we can measure ourselves against external ratings and awards. So the Carbon Disclosure Project, that's one that we're already tracking against. We've tracked ourselves against the Newsweek rankings in the past, although that's going away. We have the opportunity to really identify what ratings are most relevant to our business. And I would challenge us as a team to figure out the path so that we can one day be on the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. And then finally, we should measure our success in terms of employee engagement through our annual employee engagement survey, through the number of suppliers that we engage and feedback from our suppliers, and then also through the participation that we have at events. So in closing, I just want to reiterate how important it is for us to know where we're going. We have to be very deliberate, and as this team comes together, it kills me that I'm not here with you guys, but as you come together, I think that we need to be very prescriptive in how we set goals, to be bold, make them bold but achievable, goals that we can get approval of by Beth Mooney, her management team, and the board of directors. And then second, I think that we need to spend a lot of time building the management approach. So when we talk about our materiality, our stakeholder engagement, our goals, identification of challenges, opportunities, the trends and risks to our business, I believe that that's really our opportunity. And there are a million other things that we'll be working on that support all of that. I'm off to the lake now. I'll see you guys later. Please call me or email me with questions. I look forward to continuing the dialogue.